Y'all, why did this lady, Leslie Jones, get up on somebody's podcast and say that marriage is slavery? Like, let's talk about it. So Leslie Jones went on Ziwe's podcast. I hope I'm saying that correctly. She's this beautiful young woman on YouTube. And she just basically told this young lady that she considers marriage to be legalized slavery. Pause. Marriage, not abuse, not dysfunction, not a terrible husband, not some dusty man with bad credit and a superiority complex, but marriage. Girl. Now, see, this is the kind of statement people make when they want applause for pain instead of accountability for their frame of thinking, because that was not deep. That was not profound. And that was not some revolutionary statement. That is dramatic, it's lazy, and it's intellectually raggedy. According to the coverage that we are about to watch, Leslie said she is not submissive, said her father didn't raise her to be somebody's wife, called marriage legalized slavery, and compared tradwife expectations to a whip and a chain, and said she would not recommend marriage to young women because she does not think it benefits women. And I'm sorry, but some of y'all are so committed to sounding free that you don't realize you sound bitter.
I'm not submissive.
Could you be a tradwife is what I'm asking.
Tradwife meaning like I'd be at home and no.
Like making Oreos from scratch.
I don't absolutely not.
Why not?
Because that's not who the I am. And my daddy didn't raise me like that.
To be a tradwife.
To be anybody's wife. My dad used to literally say that to me. I didn't raise you to be somebody's wife.
That's so brave.
I don't know if it's brave or smart. Most of the people that I know that's gotten married are divorced now.
And so really, that's an indictment of the institution.
Yeah. I think marriage is legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come
Absolutely
into my head.
not. I don't know how you don't. Man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, you might as well pull out a whip. And a chain.
Wow. So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't
get married.
No.
Okay.
Oh God, you are crazy.
How am I crazy?
You are crazy.
You're saying that marriage is
No, I don't believe in the marriage. No, I don't.
So you wouldn't get married?
No, and I don't think it's beneficial for a woman at all.
Say you don't want marriage. Cool. If Leslie Jones does not want to get married, that's her business. Nobody has to want marriage. Nobody has to want submission. Nobody has to want traditional roles. And nobody has to want a husband, a ring, a shared last name, or a joint checking account. Fine. But saying marriage is not for me and saying marriage is legalized slavery are not the same statement. One is a preference. The other is a tantrum dressed in a blazer. And that is what gets me so mad, because some people do not know how to simply reject a lifestyle. They have to morally condemn it. They cannot just say, no, thank you. They have to say anyone who wants this is a fool, a victim, or a traitor to womanhood. And that's not confidence, that's overcompensation. And young ladies, everything is not oppression. And thinking this way is the disease of modern thinking. Anything that requires sacrifice, you all equal to oppression. Anything that requires duty, you all equal that to control. And anything that requires a compromise it equals out to abuse for you all. And anything that asks you to think beyond yourself, you all consider that to be slavery. That is so silly. By that logic, parenting is slavery, and your parents were a slave to you. A mortgage is slavery, and your parents paying for a roof over your head was basically them in chains. A job equals slavery to you fools. Friendship is equal to slavery to some people like 2K. And taking care of your own mother when she gets old, I'm sure that you guys would consider that slavery too. At some point, you have to grow up and realize that responsibility is not the same thing as oppression. A commitment is not a cage just because you can't do whatever you want whenever the mood strikes you. That's just simply called adulthood. And a lot of these conversations are not actually about freedom. They are about immaturity dressed up in feminist vocabulary. The slavery comparison is just absurd. Marriage is not slavery. Say that again. Marriage is not slavery. Slavery is forced. Slavery is violent. Slavery is dehumanizing. Slavery is ownership of a human being. Marriage is a legal union entered by consent. Do not play in my face about this. And using the whip and chain language to describe a man wanting a traditional wife is not bold. It is grotesquely unserious. That imagery was part of the backlash because Leslie reportedly used exactly that comparison in the interview. And we have to say things like reportedly because maybe one day, I don't know, I think I snapped, Leslie will come back and say that AI did this. You do not become insightful by reaching out for the most inflammatory analogy possible. You become sloppy, you become reckless, you become the person in the conversation who wants gasps because you don't have precision.
Ladies, count how many problems you got. Go out and find a man with one less problem than you. Because I get tired of hearing just complaining about their man and I ain't got no fucking man and you sitting here complaining about a good man. This motherfucker good to you and you fucking complaining. I want to bust you in your fucking forehead, bitch. You wasting dick right now. You are wasting. Recycle. Give a hoot, don't pollute. I don't want to be with him no more. Why? He good to you. He does nice things for you. So what? This nigga got a wooden foot. You ain't looking at the positive shit in your life. What if you sitting at a picnic one day and somebody start up a kickball game? Now you got the best nigga on the
Our ancestors are literally turning in their graves at you even saying this. How dare you? And I really need people to stop giving standing ovations to reckless language just because it sounds spicy in a freaking clip. Spicy does not mean smart, loud does not mean layered, and extreme does not mean true. What she really means, what Leslie is really talking about is not slavery. She's talking about mistrust. She's talking about loss of control. She is talking about resentment towards traditional expectations. She is talking about a rejection of female submission and dependence. That is the real conversation. And we can have that conversation, but say that then. Say, I don't trust men enough to build with them. Say, I don't like the idea of shared power. Say, I don't want the role. Say, I don't see enough marriages around me that look desirable. But do not take your personal disgust, your personal fear, your personal resistance, and then slap the word slavery on top of it like you just delivered some TED Talk. No, ma'am. You delivered a wound with a microphone, and that's different.
Men say the dumbest. You know what, men? Let me just give you a piece of advice. Y'all want us to shut the up? We want you to shut the fuck up too. Because y'all don't know how to talk to us no more. You know what I'm saying? Men don't know how to talk to women no more. What's the first thing a man say to a bitter woman like me? All you need is like a superhero. You know what I'm saying? like it's got a cape and it's flying through the land and saving all the bitter bitches. Can I put some on pump 6? Nope. And y'all gonna get these pretty girls beat up.
Stop giving young women bitter advice. And that's another part that bothers me, the advice to younger women. Because when you tell young women marriage does not benefit women, you are not merely sharing your journey. That claim was part of the reported exchange when Leslie was asked whether she would recommend marriage. You are planting suspicion. You are encouraging young women to be fearful, and you are teaching them to see commitment as a trap before they've even had the chance to discern the difference between a good man and a bad one. And that's dangerous. Because a lot of women do want marriage. A lot of women do want a family. A lot of women do want partnership, protection, stability, intimacy, and a legacy. And there is nothing shameful about that. But celebrity culture has convinced some women that the highest form of empowerment is acting like you need nobody, trust nobody, submit to nothing, and answer to no one. That sounds cute on the stage, but that gets much uglier in an empty house through your 30s, through your 40s, through your 50s, through your 60s, Leslie. Because some of these women are not liberated. They are lonely with good lighting, real good lighting, as you can see in these clips. The real problem isn't marriage. If Leslie wanted to say a lot of modern men are underdeveloped, I'd hear her. If she wanted to say too many men want traditional wives without traditional responsibility, I'd hear that too. If she even wanted to say that some women are being asked to split the bills, split the labor, split emotional burdens, and still somehow perform as the soft, glowing, agreeable dream wife, I would get that too. Because see, then we'd be talking. That is a conversation, but that is not what she said. She didn't critique unserious men. She attacked marriage itself. That is what people do when they do not want to diagnose the real issue, because the real issue would require nuance. And nuance is harder than outrage. Outrage gets reposted. Nuance gets ignored. Some people choose the clip. They choose the headline. They choose the applause line. But then wonder why the culture is stupid. Because you don't learn anything from the applause line, the headline, or the spicy, juicy clip. Some of this is just flat out coping. And I'm going to say something mean here, or a little bit mean. Some of these marriage is a scam speeches sound less like wisdom and more like emotional repo work. Like somebody's trying to repossess hope before another woman can drive off with it. Because what I hear underneath this is not just independence. I hear disappointment. I hear disillusionment. I hear I have not seen this done well, so I no longer want to believe in it. And that is sad. But sadness is not scholarship, and disappointment is not doctrine. Personal failure all around you is not proof of universal evil. If everybody you know had an awful marriage, then maybe just say that. But a bad sample size is not a philosophy. That's just anecdotal. Maybe you should get better friends and surround yourself by better people, or surround yourself with better people. Good marriages exist because I exist in a good marriage. So let me be clear. A bad marriage can definitely drain you. A foolish marriage can definitely break you. A one-sided marriage can certainly humiliate you. But a good marriage can steady your life, can multiply peace, can deepen love, discipline, purpose, and your security. So the lesson is not never marry. The message should be choose better, vet longer, watch for patterns, test the person's character, respect the red flags you see, stop dating men who are projects. Stop confusing charisma with capacity, and stop calling chemistry compatibility. That is the lesson. Not this burn the whole institution down to the ground because some people inside of it are clowns. That's just nonsense. And here's my final drag. And let me drag this all the way home for you, Leslie. Young ladies, Leslie Jones does not have to want marriage, but marriage did not become slavery because she does not like the job description. And some of y'all really need to stop confusing I reject this with this is evil. That mindset is childish. That is the same emotional logic as a toddler screaming, I hate this, because they were asked to share. Sometimes the issue is not oppression. Sometimes the issue is that you do not want to be inconvenienced. Sometimes the issue is not patriarchy. Sometimes the issue is that your ego cannot handle mutual obligation. Ooh. Sometimes the issue is not that marriage is beneath women. Sometimes the issue is that a lot of people do not know how to build anything that requires humility. So no, marriage is not legalized slavery. Bad marriages exist. Selfish men exist. Unequal dynamics exist. Manipulation exists. Control exists. But marriage itself is not slavery. And telling women that it is, that is not empowering. That is irresponsible, inflammatory, and rooted in the kind of cynicism that masquerades as wisdom because it sounds bold in a soundbite. Leslie, you do not have to be a wife, but stop insulting women who want to be one. You do not have to be traditional, but stop pretending traditional or the word tradition is abusive or abuse. You do not have to want to marry, but stop teaching young women that commitment itself is degradation. That is not liberation. That is bitterness with oppressor. And baby, that bitterness has ruined more women than marriage ever did. Now I know this one is going to have folks in their feelings, so go ahead and meet me in the comments. Do you agree with Leslie Jones, or did she take that thing clean off the rails? Let me know. And if you made it this far, don't just sit there like a church mouse. I know it's Easter. Like the video, share it, subscribe to Smell the Roses, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next time I come in here and politely ruin someone's argument. We have fun, we tell the truth, and yes, sometimes we cut up a little. So join the party, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.